So let's talk about one piece of tech that I did not expect to be among my favorite travel photography accessories, and that is the Lexar Pexar digital frame. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Desmond. I make content about tech and travel gear. And of course, I do a ton of traveling, both for work and for pleasure, just all types of things. And everywhere I go, I bring a camera with me. So this right here, this is my new Leica Q3. I'll probably talk about that in another video. The other camera I carry is my new A7CR. So you can tell I'm going a bit smaller, but it's because I like to bring cameras with me whenever I travel. I like to be able to shoot high quality images. I love compact, easy to carry cameras. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago did I realize that most of the photos that I shoot all over the world just kind of sit on SD cards or in Lightroom. And of course, I've done some things with prints. I've got some great photo books. I've got some really nice high quality prints that I have scattered around the house. But like I said, I bring a camera with me everywhere. So sometimes it's hundreds, if not thousands of photos from any number of trips, and there's only so much wall space in my home. And that kind of gets me to this topic, maybe not Lexar specifically, but the topic of digital picture frames. I think they've really come a long way over the last few years, but I started buying digital picture frames for my home, for my friends and family a couple of years ago because I have so many images to share, and it's just hard, again, to get them on the walls, to get them onto tables. There's only so much space for a physical print, but a digital picture frame like this one from Lexar gives me that flexibility to have as many photos as I want. I can even do videos. So clearly digital picture frames are not a new concept. They've been around for years. I've used several of them over the years, but I want to talk about what has quickly become my favorite. This is the Lexar picture frame. It is called the Pexar. Not the most original naming, but it is a wonderful piece of tech and probably one of the best digital picture frames I've used in my many years of using these. So the Lexar Pexar, it's a funny name. This is a 2K resolution digital picture frame. And I mean, so far, I really enjoy it. It has a lot of the same features as what you would expect from a digital picture frame. It is Wi-Fi enabled. That is how I send all of the images that I take to the picture frame itself, and that works from anywhere in the world. I'll talk about how I use that later. It has built-in storage, 32 gigabytes of built-in storage, but there's also an SD card slot in here in the back. It of course supports photo and video. It is a picture frame, and it is touch sensitive, which means you engage with the UX with standard touch. I actually found that to be very quick and very snappy compared to some of the other picture frames that I've got downstairs that I've owned over the years. Now, before we jump into features and function and why this has been so fantastic, let's actually talk about, I guess, the elephant in the room, right? There are dozens, if not hundreds, of different digital picture frame options out there on Amazon. I've tried so many of them. The biggest difference is most of those brands, the only thing I've ever tried from them has been their picture frame. Yes, they've got similar features and functionality, but I will tell you consistently, they all end up breaking down. The software ends up breaking down. They freeze, they turn off automatically, they don't refresh or update properly. So the build quality is usually pretty mediocre, but the longevity of that frame is never very good. The reason why I'm actually really happy that Lexar had put something out like this is because I've been using Lexar for a long time. Like, look at these little things. If you're not familiar with Lexar, they make some of the best SD cards in the world. And I've been using Lexar for years. I trust this brand. I trust this product with my most precious memories from all over the world. I use Lexar SD cards in all of my cameras. These are highly recommended by other creators out there, and this is why I use them. So I think something like that gives me a much better sense of peace when I'm purchasing a product that is supposed to work and last a long time. I don't want to keep recycling digital picture frames or SD cards or other products, so I want to be able to get something from a brand that I trust. Now, I mentioned earlier in this video that I've been testing and using digital picture frames for years. And that's because, like I mentioned, all of the different digital picture frames that I buy from Amazon, I've tried many, they all eventually break and they all eventually stop working. So I throw them out, I recycle them, and I have to buy a new one. And that is the biggest difference that I think sets Lexar's product apart from the other ones that you can find on Amazon. Now, the price point is roughly the same. I think that's what I really like about it is you've got the beautiful 2K display. You can see here we've got this in that kind of anti-glare matte finish, which gives it a very realistic picture frame look. I love that. This is very much more anti-fingerprint and anti-grime than a lot of the other digital picture frames I've tested. I have kids, they love to swipe through all the different pictures that dad takes when he's traveling or all the family photos, and we get nasty little fingerprints everywhere. This one does not pick up fingerprints in the same way at all. I think the UX itself is incredibly snappy. I think it works really, really well. It uses a very similar variant of what you would find on other digital picture frames. I just think this has a bit more processing power and it's a cleaned up UX, so it works very quickly. The other thing that I like about it is the app itself. So for some of the other picture frames I use like the Amore digital picture frame app. Lexar uses Frameo, which I like. Again, very snappy. It works really well. You have batch uploads. You can see the frame before you send the images over. And of course, it works from anywhere in the world, right? It is Wi-Fi enabled. Also, one thing that I will call out, the stand is magnetic. What a wonderful concept. The other ones I have use that little screw-in stick, and it's a pain. So you can just magnetize this here if you want to do a landscape orientation, or turn it vertically and magnetize it here for a portrait orientation. I actually really like that. I think it's smart to use magnets versus that kind of screw-in stick. And of course, on the back here, you can see we've got our little screw mounts. You can mount this on a wall anywhere in the home. And that's, again, just one of the things that I like about this is even the design and the construction is very well thought out. All right, now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about how and why I use this so much, because it's a digital picture frame. There's only so many tech specs I can give you, and there's only so much reasoning I can give you to let you know whether or not you should buy one. But how I use this is actually when I am in transit or when I am traveling and away from the home. So, like I mentioned, I always have my camera with me, my Leica Q3. This thing is fantastic because I can take a photo, I can connect it to my phone, I can edit that image, and then I can send it directly to this digital picture frame back at home, no matter where I am in the world. So for me, when I'm traveling for work, or when me and my wife are traveling, or me and one of my kids are traveling, I like to send back glimpses and just snapshots of what we're doing so we can feel connected when we are not traveling together. So when I'm in London, for example, I take a beautiful picture of, New Bond Street or the Tower Bridge or Big Ben. I can send that back in almost real time. Maybe it takes me a couple of minutes to edit, but I've also set up some built-in JPEG looks so I can take a shot and basically send it back home in real time. And I personally love that experience. My kids love it. My wife loves it. I also have a bunch of these digital picture frames, and now I'll be sending more of these Lexar ones over the holidays to my parents, to my friends, my siblings, all over the country. We don't all live in the same place. So again, when I'm taking photos of the family, if I've got a new holiday card, I can send those directly to the picture frames. And that's something that's really special. That's why I personally love digital picture frames, regardless of brand. But now that I've got the Lexar and I've been using this is probably the only one that I'll be sending over to the family. It's going to be the new holiday gift. But that is how I use this, and that's kind of how it's become my favorite travel photography accessory. It's something I'd never bring with me, but it basically gives me the ability to share everything that I'm seeing and everything that I'm experiencing directly with my friends, family, and loved ones. And that's something that I just enjoy so much. I think where we are in today's day and age, this is such an underappreciated piece of technology because it's supposed to just be a picture frame. But the fact that I can be anywhere in the world and I can send memories on the spot, photos, videos to anybody and have them displayed for them is something I think is really quite special. Like I mentioned, it's not a new concept. Lexar did not invent this concept. I've been using digital picture frames forever and with that same use case. But I think the quality, functionality, so far, this has been the best. And I think this is only like $139. So it's not more expensive than any of the other Amazon picture frames that I've picked up. But so far, I think this looks the best. It stays clean. It functions, it's snappy, it's really exactly what it's supposed to be. All right, with that said, that's my review of the Lexar Pexar digital picture frame. I think this is going to make for a great holiday gifting option. I know I'm going to be sending several of these out to my parents and my siblings and my aunts and uncles and my friends all over the world and the country because these are only $130. I think these are going to make a great gift. They will come preloaded with beautiful photos of my family and all the different memories that I've shared with all of these people. But yes, I will leave a link in the description below. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more videos just like this. I will catch y'all in the next one.